At the same time, KCTV5 is digging deeper into a murder mystery that's haunted Spring Hill, Kansas. Saturday marks 23 years since Tawnya Knight was murdered. She was just 15 years old.
At 6 o'clock, we told you about her family's concerns. They believe the case is being ignored. We asked the Johnson County Sheriff about it, and he tells KCTV5 News he'll bring in 3 retired detectives to take a fresh look at the case.
New here at 10, a private investigator has a new theory about what happened to Tawnya. It involves revenge, jealousy, and murder.
It may sound like a movie, but the investigator says it's the key to solving this cold case. Here's KCTV5's Joe Chiodo.
In 23 years, Spring Hill, Kansas has certainly changed. For instance, there's a new coffee shop on Main Street.
You know, Tawnya was a typical 15-year-old.
It's where we met private investigator Jeff McDonald. But in other ways, this town has stayed the same.
She walked around this town a lot.
Kids Tanya's age still walk the streets, and people still ask, what happened to that 15-year-old girl that December night? McDonald thinks he knows.
This one's extremely interesting.
He spent a year and a half interviewing more than 100 people. He's narrowed it down to 4. He says 2 girls helped plan the murder, or at least knew what happened, and 2 others, a guy and a girl, actually committed the crime. He's nicknamed that guy the Heavy, the girl the Mastermind. They've never been charged.
How sure are you that these 4 are responsible?
I'm almost at 100%. I think, you know, there's a message here is, you know, be careful who your real friends are.
She was a very loving person, and it's like she never met a stranger.
Lori Knight, Tanya's mom, hired McDonald with the help of a friend. She's told him everything about her daughter.
She was very sweet. She was bubbly, always happy.
And in a different way, he's done the same.
I know a lot more now about that case than what I knew before.
What's shocked Lori the most?
That it wasn't a stranger, that it was somebody that she actually knew. And that's a hard part too.
McDonald says the Spring Hill Cemetery is where the mastermind and the Heavy orchestrated a vindictive crime out of jealousy, all to seek revenge.
This is where we believe Tawnya died, right in this spot.
McDonald says those 4 older classmates told Tawnya they were all going to a party.
She had no idea that they were this mad at her.
But that party was a lie.
This is some high school drama.
Yes.
The mastermind's motive?
He's frustrated because she was taking boyfriends from her.
And the Heavies?
Wanted her to be his girlfriend and maybe have sex with her, but she was not interested in him.
McDonald says the mastermind and one of the other female suspects picked up Tawnya and dropped her off here, a well-known house where kids would smoke and drink in Spring Hill. But there was no real party that night, just 2 other classmates playing video games, drinking, and getting high. McDonald says the girls basically ditched Tawnya, forcing her to walk home around midnight.
That's the last spot that you will see Tawnya on the record.
Her house was only a few blocks away, but to get there, she'd have to pass that cemetery. McDonald says the Heavy and the mastermind knew that'd be her route and their window to commit the crime.
I believe they were laying in wait in the woods here, saying, "Hey, come on, Tawnya, come on in, come on in the cemetery." The Heavy held her while she was being beaten, and I think one of the parties brought a knife to the occasion, and she died probably right in this spot somewhere here. 2 people carried her. They came up here to this fence right here. I firmly believe that whoever put her there knew this area.
Tanya's body laid in that spot for 6 months, until June 1997, when a farmer found a skull.
Your heart just drops.
That whole time, police said she was a runaway.
They were too easily bought into the fact that, well, there's been other runaways, she's just a runaway.
McDonald says those 6 months are why there are no charges today. It gave his 4 suspects a chance to get their story straight. And now he has a new blow to the case, involving the Heavy.
He just passed away.
That's right, McDonald's main suspect had been sick for some time. This past October, he died.
It just leaves us kind of in a quandary of what to do.
Former Johnson County Detective Scott Atwell was assigned to Tanya's case until he retired in 2011. When he heard that news, he hoped it wasn't too late.
We call it a come to Jesus interview, and see if on death's bed he'll either confess or still deny that he had anything to do with it.
He wanted to know if the sheriff's department was able to interview the heavy one last time before he passed. So we asked.
Did you get a chance to go talk with him or no?
No, I didn't.
Is that something you feel like?
I don't know that our officers didn't, but I didn't.
Atwell and Tanya's mom both worry if that interview didn't happen, it could be a miss for this case. So now the focus shifts to McDonald's 3 other suspects, who he believes know exactly what happened to Tawnya Knight.
Do you think she'll ever get justice? I believe so.
It would bring closure. We haven't been able to have complete closure. I will never give up hope.
In Spring Hill, Kansas, I'm Joe Chiodo, KCTV5 News.
McDonald and the sheriff's office still discuss the case together. Sheriff Hayden tells KCTV5 News the investigation will ramp up after the new year.
And to see both of Joe's reports, open your KCTV5 News app. You'll also find our coverage of the story as it broke in 1996 in the Vault section.